Hello, hello, my friends. I know that we just began the month of July, and as of the time that I am filming this video, it is almost 110 outside where I live. It's ridiculously hot here, but the candle companies all think that July means that they want to release fall collections. We saw that Bath & Body Works started putting out some fall candles last week, and Kringle Candle is following suit. In fact, we have now received word that their fall collection will be released next Thursday, July 11th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Kringle Candle website. Now, when I like to cover a new collection being launched, I typically will do one of two styles of videos. One style is that I will go over all of the fragrance notes. I will give you the, what are they called? The stock photos that we are supplied. But then I don't have the candles in front of me because sometimes there's just no PR available. There was no pre-order or yeah, I just don't have them in my hands beforehand. Other times, Kringle has sent me PR, and then not only can I cover all of that other information, but I can also have the candles in front of me where I can give you some cold sniff impressions. I'm in a little bit of a conundrum for this release, you guys, because I'm gonna do both videos. And the reason why is because Kringle has notified me that they are very kindly sending me some PR. It is on its way here as I am filming this video. However, I am going out of town this Saturday and I will not be back until Thursday, the launch date. And UPS keeps giving me some mixed messages about when they plan to deliver the candles. When they initially shipped the candles to me, UPS told me that they would be here on Friday, July 5th. And then the next day they told me, nope, it won't arrive until July 8th. And so then I went ahead and I filmed my July candle chat video. So that will be up this weekend. And in that video, I'm telling you guys, all right, I'm gonna do the two videos. I let you guys know why. And then this morning, right after I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and film this video. This morning I received a UPS notification that, oh wait, no, we are planning to deliver them on Friday. So I figure I'm just going to go ahead and cover my bases here since I am at the whims of the delivery services. And quite frankly, you guys, I'm honestly a little bit nervous about the candles in this heat. They've been able to withstand like triple digit, like 100, 102 degree days. But if it's 110 where I live about an hour outside of Phoenix. Phoenix itself is probably going to be around 116, 117. And I just get a little bit nervous about my candles sitting on that UPS truck from the drive from Phoenix to where I live. So I'm like a little bit nervous about that. Anyways, you guys, today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and do the preview. And then if they happen to show up on my doorstep on Friday, I will definitely try to film that very quickly for you and give you some cold sniff impressions prior to the launch next Thursday. But if for some reason they don't arrive before then, we'll just have to wait to get my first sniffs video up until I get back. Fortunately, I do have somebody staying at my house while we will be gone, and so the candles will not be sitting outside the entire time. They will be brought in, but I'm just trying to cover my bases here for you guys. And ultimately, the other thing that I want to remind you guys with this collection is that very similar to the spring and summer launch, these candles are seasonal, and it means that they will be in or on the Kringle website at least probably through Christmas. They'll probably clearance them out like after Christmas, I imagine. But these are not the limited edition. These are not the reserves where sometimes it feels a little bit more like Hunger Games. You do have time to watch a couple of reviews, cold sniffs. You have time to do your research on these. So I did just want to put that out there for all of you guys. I have my little handy dandy cheat sheet here in front of me to give you all of the information. Now, like I said, they are launching next Thursday, July 11th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It looks like there is a grand total of 12 candles. We have 6 country candles and 6 in the Kringle lineup. The candles that are available in the Kringle lineup will also be available in medium and 3-wick style jars. I believe the country ones will also be available in a medium-sized vessel, and we're being told that they will be available in wax melts. I'm not sure if the daylights will be ready to go at launch time. I do believe that they're, I feel like one of the other ambassadors had said that there was something going on with the machinery with the daylights. Don't quote me on that, but daylights will eventually be available if they are not initially up on the Kringle website. So I wanted to give you guys that information. But yeah, I do have a discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase. If you just can't wait to get your hands on these candles, but you want to save a little bit of money, you are welcome to use that code. It is an affiliate code that is eligible for commission, so please only use that if you are comfortable. But let's go ahead and talk about these fragrances, and be aware, you guys, maybe I will have a first sniffs video up for you guys early next week before the launch, and if not, it'll probably be up shortly after I get home. So, all right, which one do I want to start with? I feel like I'm gonna go back and forth between the Kringle and the Country. So the first Kringle candle that I have listed here is Bourbon, Apple, and Oud. So we have top notes of apple and wood, mid notes of bourbon and sweet, base notes of tonka and amber. I'm gonna tell you guys, I have a feeling I'm actually really going to enjoy this fragrance, because this sounds to me like it's going to be slightly in that like kind of like masculine category, but the fragrance notes also don't sound to me like they're going to be too cologne leading. Sometimes fragrances that can lead a little, or like lean a little bit more masculine, traditionally masculine. You guys, I've gone into detail before about how you can like whatever you want regardless of your gender when it comes to fragrance. And I feel like the notes of apple in there and the tonka, that means like tonka usually has a little bit of like a vanilla note to it, sweet. I feel like this is going to be not as light or watery or ocean fresh like as a lot of like summer masculine fragrances can be, but also not super dark and heavy and deep like a winter fragrance would be. So I'm actually very, very intrigued by this. I still have a couple of the Bourbon Bonfire fragrances from last fall's collection in my collection, and I really, really love that fragrance. So that might be one that I might pair together. I do tend to like some oud type of fragrances, so I'm very curious to see what that one will be like. But if you are somebody who likes maybe those more quote unquote masculine fragrances, but you want a little bit of a fall twist on it, I think that fragrance is going to be for you. Moving over to Country Candle, okay, my gourmand loving heart is really intrigued by this one. This one I'm really, really glad that they're sending to me. This is Almond Butter Cookie. Top notes of sweet and vanilla, mid notes of almond and pumpkin, base notes of maple and amaretto. So that sounds delicious. If you are a gourmand lover, if you are a fall gourmand lover, I think that you're gonna like this. This to me, I would actually be really curious to see if this is similar to Hallmark's Amaretto Pumpkin. And then I think they brought it back. What did they bring it back as, you guys? I had it and I can see the label. I want to say it was Toasted Vanilla Pumpkin, something like that. I don't have it in my collection anymore, but if you guys remember the exact name for it, I remember initially it was called Amaretto Pumpkin. I'm curious, just the fragrance notes on here sound like they might be in that wheelhouse. Sounds like it's gonna be sweet, a little bit sweet, but not like too cloyingly sweet. Anytime you have like a vanilla in there, oh, it's gonna be a good one, I think. And I actually really do like the way that Kringle and Country has done almond fragrances. I really, really loved the Easter collection, that Easter brunch candle, which was kind of like their take on an almond croissant. They did it really, really well. So I'm curious to see how that comes about here. Also, before I go further with these candle descriptions here, I don't know yet what the wicks are going to be like on this launch. I will probably be able to give you a better idea looking at them when I get the candles in, but we have not received any notification as ambassadors about any kind of wick changes or whatnot. My assumption is that they're probably going to try to stick with the wicks that they had in the Reserve line and their most recent one and their new Country lineup. So yeah, just, I don't know yet, but I will be able to give you a little bit better idea once I actually have my eyes on the candles. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the next candle, which I'm just gonna tell you guys, if you guys have been here for a while, it's not gonna be a surprise that this one is probably my favorite label of the entire lineup. Kittens and Cashmere, okay? That label, I cannot. And it was so funny because I love cats. Drew Yock also loves cats, and I messaged him over on Instagram and I said, watch, they're probably gonna send me the 3-wick, which does not have any cats on it. That'll be the one that I will get the 3-wick version of in PR and not get this adorable label. So the fragrance notes on here are top notes of ozone, green, herbal, mid notes of fir needle and eucalyptus mint, base notes of herbal, amber, and musk. So to me, you guys, this one actually sounds like it's going to be for those of you who like more fresh scents, maybe more fresh outdoorsy type of fragrances, probably a fall twist on it. Anytime I see ozone, green, herbal, I do think of outdoorsy type of fragrances. And then you have fir needle in there, which is a tree, eucalyptus mint. So I'm very curious to see how those fragrances come together. But in the general genre, I do think that this is probably going to be the fall twist on those of you who like maybe more outdoorsy fall type of fragrances. The next fragrance that will be released from Country Candle is Glazed Berry Scones, top notes of berry and soft spice, mid notes of pastry and cranberry, base notes of sweet and maple. So it looks like, again, we have another gourmand fragrance here. I may be the odd duck here, but I noticed that a lot of brands tend to incorporate berry into a lot of their fall lineups. I'm very curious to see how much the cranberry comes out in this fragrance, because if it's like a cranberry scone, then I guess I could see it being more fall appropriate. But like when I see like a blueberry note listed in fall fragrances, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, blueberry to me is more like summer, or maybe like summer to fall transitional. And maybe that's what they're going for here. But if it's more of a cranberry note, then I could see that definitely vibing with fall, you know, going into like Thanksgiving. I do like a good cranberry fragrance. I've come around on cranberry. I was not always a lover of cranberry fragrances, but over the last 2 years, I would say that I've really embraced them. I do love Harvest Leaves from Bath & Body Works, or not Bath & Body Works, I'm sorry, Homeworks. I know that a couple of people have told me I need to try out Cranberry Woods. So yeah, I'm very curious about that candle. All right, the next fragrance being released from Kringle is Maple Woods. Top notes of sweet and maple, mid notes of wood and floral, base notes of amber and citrus. So this one to me, again, sounds like it might be, it's definitely not going to be a gourmand to me. I think the touch of maple, I want to know, is the maple like maple syrup, or is it more like a maple tree? Again, the fragrance notes that I am picking up in here look like it's going to be, maybe slightly cologne-like. We've got some maybe perfumey, like cologne or perfumey. I don't know why, you guys. I'm just looking at those fragrance notes and thinking that's probably what it's going to be. I don't know, you guys. I would say probably of all of the candles that I've been looking at, this one is probably the one that I'm looking at it going like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that one. But who knows, you guys? We all know sometimes we get fragrances that show up on our doorstep. I'm talking about as an ambassador, but also sometimes we order a daylight that we're like, it just came in the bundle. You know, sometimes they'll bundle the daylights, and I've oftentimes been very surprised by how much I actually like a fragrance once I light it up. So who knows about that one? The label on that is actually stunning. I wish I lived in a place that actually experienced fall colors like that. If you're new to my channel, I live in Arizona, and northern and eastern Arizona experience fall like that. But where I live in the desert. We don't have beautiful colors like that. The trees do not change color here usually until late November, early December. That's when we get fall. So, and by then I'm ready for Christmas. So I really, that's the like, oh yeah. We won't talk about how I feel about where I live right now, because right now it's too hot and I don't like it. All right, the next fragrance that we have listed here is Merlot Vines. Now this will be coming out from the Country Candle lineup. Top notes of currant and grape, mid notes of rose and berry, base notes of wood and musk. So it's funny because, you know, Kringle has been kind of on this like Merlot grape type of kick. And even though I see like a top note of grape in here with a little bit of currant, I'm wondering how this is going to complement the most recent reserve launch of Merlot. I'm just looking at this and thinking, you know, those two might pair together really nicely. Mid note of rose and berry. This to me seems again like it's probably going to be a pretty deep type of fragrance. A couple of people were wanting to know how it might compare to, I think it was last year's Harvest Vineyard. I know that one was received with some mixed opinions. I never tried it, so I probably won't be able to be the person to give you a comparison on that when I get it in. But that one, I'm intrigued by. That seems more like it's going to be like your fall fruity type of fragrance. If you are somebody who likes a good deep fall fruit, I think that that is probably going to be the candle that will intrigue you most. All right, the next fragrance here that we have offered is Pumpkin Rum Toddy. I really love the label on this one. I think it's really pretty. Top notes of pumpkin spice, citrus, mid notes, sorry, I just kicked my ring light there. Top notes of pumpkin spice and citrus, mid notes of rum and fruit, base notes of butter and vanilla. All right, this one sounds to me like this is going to be a good, deep, gourmand type of fragrance, but not like bakery gourmand. This one might be for those of us who like maybe, I don't want to even say like tea, but I do have a feeling that this one is going to smell kind of like almost like a spiked tea, or I mean, because that's really kind of like what a toddy is, right? It sounds really nice. I'm very, very intrigued by it. Anytime you put pumpkin spice in something, I'm like, oh, you have my attention. Stereotypical. Although, funny thing about me, I don't like coffee, so I don't get the whole like PSL type of thing in the fall. But I do like the smell of pumpkin spice, and I do like rum. So I'll be curious to see if this has any type of boozy accord with it. I could also see this fragrance maybe pairing nicely with last year's Bourbon Bonfire. So that one looks like it might be kind of versatile. But for those of us who maybe like those boozy fragrances, or even I would caution to say maybe if you want like a fall tea type of fragrance, that one might, I don't know, might fit in that category. All right, here's another candle that I am kind of intrigued by. This is called PINECONES and POMANDER. Top notes of juniper and citrus, mid notes of fir needles and citron zest, and base notes of currant and musk. So this sounds like this is going to be country's version of the of more of like an outdoorsy fresh type of fragrance. I'm really curious to see how that juniper and citrus comes together. I don't know, maybe is this kind of like a precursor to all of the like orange pomander fragrances that we tend to enjoy in late fall and as we approach Christmas time. Very curious to see this. I know last year they had like an orange candy, like a chocolate orange candy type of fragrance. I personally, I love orange fragrances. I love any citrus fragrances, usually every other time of the year except for fall. I don't think of citrus in the fall time. So this one I'm intrigued by, but I'm curious to see how it will play out. All right, the next fragrance here is going to be for those of you who love, I think, really sweet gourmands. This fragrance is Salted Maple Pumpkin. We have top notes of sweet and spice, mid notes of maple and butter, and base notes of cinnamon and vanilla. So the imagery on this candle in particular, this packaging, shows a pumpkin pie. It looks like some type of pie on there. So I am hoping that this fragrance will be just that, a version of a pumpkin pie type of fragrance. Can we get that from you, Kringle? Because that would be incredible. Clearly we don't see any type of like crust notes listed, but we all know how Kringle is sometimes with their fragrance notes. Sometimes they list a crust note and you don't pick that up at all in the fragrance, and then other times we do. Like sometimes I pick up fragrance notes that are never listed. So again, stay tuned for when I do get the package and I will give you my cold sniff impressions. Right now, I feel like this is kind of fun because it's just kind of a big guessing game. And I always encourage you guys down below to chime in with what you think these fragrances are going to smell like. And then we can see if we're right. I don't know, it's kind of fun that way. All right, the next fragrance here on the list is Praline Buttercream. Top notes of apple and wood, mid notes of bourbon and sweet, base notes of Tonka and amber. Oh, you know what, you guys? Those are incorrect. You know what? I will, I remember that they corrected these because I remember one of the other ambassadors pointed out and said, oh, that's the incorrect fragrance notes. And I did print out the wrong sheet in my preparation for this. So I will take a minute here. When I am editing this video, I will make sure that I pop up the correct fragrance notes right here for you, and I will leave them up so that way you guys can see the proper fragrance notes. I will also make sure that I have listed down below all of these fragrances and their correct fragrance notes in the description box for you guys, along with timestamps, so that way you can go back and refer to it a little bit easier. But Praline Buttercream, to me, I'm just looking at the imagery here, and that to me sounds like, again, it's going to be a good gourmand fragrance. If you're somebody who likes kind of the sweetness of a frosting, just going off of the name, I'm thinking that that might be it, but who knows? Praline sometimes has more of that nuttiness, that nutty accord. So again, if you're somebody who likes those type of fragrances, in fact, I'm almost thinking that Praline Buttercream might pair really nicely with the almond butter cookie. I don't know, that sounds like it might be kind of good, or it might go well with the salted maple pumpkin. That's one thing that I do appreciate sometimes, is when you can, like, you guys know me, I love burning more than one candle at one time, and I love when I can get fragrances that complement each other. All right, you guys, the last Kringle candle that is going to be released is Warm and Toasty. We have fragrance notes here of top notes of cedar and smoke, mid notes of sweet and marshmallow, base notes of amber and sugar. All right, I am just going to go out on a limb here, and I want you guys to comment down below to see if you agree. Last year, Kringle Candle had a candle in their fall lineup called Leaf Peeper. And when everybody smelled it, they were like, oh, this is their take on Bath & Body Works Leaves, because we all know Leaves is much beloved over at Bath & Body Works. I still think it's probably one of their most popular fall fragrances. Well, one of their other super popular fall and winter fragrances is Marshmallow Fireside. And I don't know, you guys, I'm looking at these fragrance notes here, I'm looking at the imagery, and I just cannot help but wonder if this is going to be Kringle's take on Marshmallow Fireside. Chime in down below. If you think I'm right on this, you can raise your hand, because I don't know why, I just have this sneaking suspicion that it might be. I can't wait to smell it. This is probably one of the fragrances that I am most excited to get my nose on. I love fragrances like that. I love marshmallow fragrances, but I love a good kind of like smoky fragrance. I have a lot of candles in my collection that are kind of in that hearth type of category. So I'm very curious to see what this one smells like, but the packaging on that one looks really pretty too. Those marshmallows look kind of yummy to eat right now. All right, you guys, and the last fragrance that I have to talk about is White Birch Rain. This one is going to be in the country lineup. We have top notes of herbal and cool, mid notes of eucalyptus and lavender, base notes of musk and mint. So this one, to me, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, looking at the fragrance notes, I don't think this one is gonna be for me. Who knows? I might get it and really, really enjoy it, but I typically am not the person who likes those kind of more like spa-like relaxing type of fragrances. But I do appreciate about Kringle that they do try to release something for everybody, especially because we know that fall fragrances do tend to be quite heavy on pumpkin, on cranberry, on what other, apple, you know, they all kind of tend to fall that way. And I do know that there's a lot of people who like burning candles year round, but they're not necessarily seasonal. And there's certain fragrance families that they just gravitate towards. Some people love fresh linen type of fragrances, and some people like aromatherapy spa-like fragrances. So I think if you were somebody who likes kind of those spa-like calming type of fragrances, I think that White Birch Rain is probably going to be totally in your wheelhouse. So I don't know, you guys, I am looking at the fragrance notes here, and I'm just gonna tell you, this is kind of fun. I think that this is just kind of fun to look at the fragrances and think like, ooh, which one am I probably going to like the most? I have a feeling from the country lineup, my favorite is going to be the almond butter cookie. I have a sneaking suspicion that one's gonna be my favorite. And I think Warm and Toasty is probably gonna be my favorite from the Kringle one. Bourbon, Apple, and Oud, though, I think might be a surprising, I don't know, you guys. I feel like there's more in the Kringle lineup that appeal to me a little bit more, but I'm also curious to see how they do that glazed berry scone in the country lineup. So I don't know, you guys. You guys feel free to comment down below what candles are you interested in just listening to these fragrance notes. Are you okay with me doing 2 of these videos? I promise I'm not meaning to try to bombard or overkill you guys with the Kringle content prior to the launch. I'm just really, like I said, trying to cover my bases just in case that shipment does not show up before I leave for vacation on Saturday. I wanted to at least give you some information because I, again, know that there's quite a few of you guys who are not on Facebook or Instagram, and this might be the only way that you are getting some of that information. But rest assured that if the candles arrive to me on Friday, I will do my darndest best to get a first sniffs video filmed for you guys, and I will probably have that up for you guys early next week if they do arrive before I leave. So please make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you found this video helpful, if you enjoyed it. Again, if there are any candles that you are intrigued by, feel free to comment down below. Hit subscribe if you are new to my channel. Hi, I'm Katie. I mean, my channel name would imply that. I initially started this channel speaking about beauty and candles, but it's more morphed into candles. Both things bring me a lot of joy, hence the title of my channel. But if you find yourself wanting to stick around for more home fragrance, predominantly candle content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you get on out of here. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.